Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope all of you are keeping well. Welcome back to Literary Day with English O'Clock. Now अब हम अपनी पोइट्री सेक्शन की एक्सप्लेनेशन की सीरीज़ में आगे बढ़ेंगे और आज की पोइट्री we're going to pick up as Aunt Jennifer's Tigers by Adrienne Rich. This is the very last poetry in the poetry section. We have 5 poetries here और ये last poetry explanation में हम same series रखेंगे. आज हम explanation करेंगे and tomorrow we're going to do with the poetic devices and CBSE based question papers and all the PYQs. So without further ado, let's get into the video and let's start with the explanation. Aunt Jennifer's Tigers by Adrienne Rich. So Adrienne Rich was born in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. She's widely known for her involvement in contemporary women movement. So known for her involvement in contemporary women's movement as a poet and theorist. She has published 19 volumes of poetry, 3 collections of essays, and other writings. A strong resistance to racism and militarism echoes through her work. The poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers addresses the constraints of a married life that a woman experiences. Today only I was actually seeing a YouTube video which was about Sania Malhotra's new movie, and the name of the movie was Mrs. And this movie has been widely popularized at film festivals, and she has also been given an award for that. The same concept is right here in the movie. This is the very common patriarchal setup that each and everyone faces, every lady faces. The entire poetry, Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, is all about how a married woman lives her life and what kind of problems and constraints she goes through. Right, it is all about that. Now, herein, what does the title of the poem suggest to you? Are you reminded of other poems on tigers? Yes, of course. If you remember, there was a poem, Tigers in Zoo. Maybe in your 9th or in your 10th. There was definitely in your 10th, wherein there was a differentiation between a pet animal and a wild animal. That a wild animal is never happy if it is domesticated. Now, herein, Aunt Jennifer has created these beautiful tapestries. She has created beautiful tigers, right? On very beautiful tapestries, she has created tigers. Tigers are painted, hand painted, okay? And these tigers are a symbol of everything the aunt is not. As I said, the aunt is married, so there are certain restrictions, certain obligations that the aunt has to adhere to, and she just cannot resist other way around. एक बार read कर लेते हैं फिर चलते हैं आगे. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across the screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Aunt Jennifer's fingers, fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. So the tigers that she has created, it is actually used as a symbol of escapism. I have not yet started with Vistas, but the very first chapter in your Vistas, that is 3rd level, it is talking about escapism, right? When Charlie goes to the 3rd level. Herein we see that art has been used as escapism. Art is something through which she is deciding to escape her monotonous, her bored and her difficult life. She's using it. So Aunt Jennifer has created tigers, and tigers are a symbol of majesty. They are a symbol of chivalry, because they are very huge and very fearless animals, and very brave, courageous, all the good things actually. And aunt herself, she's scared of the husband. She cannot do things as her heart desires, so she is just a completely opposite. While aunt herself is quite docile, she is weak, very timid, she lacks courage, she is a coward. Everything the tigers are, she is not. Right? A very beautiful line. So Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across the screen. Screen here could be the tapestries, the frame, the painting. So tigers are prancing. Prancing is like moving with a jump. Like the movement, it refers to the movement. You must have seen tigers, they prance, like walk very elegantly. So the tigers are moving. Bright topaz denizens of a world of green. Topaz, it is a gem. It is called pukhraj in Hindi actually. So bright topaz. Pukhraj is always yellow in color or tigers be yellow and orange का combination होते हैं. So they are very bright in color. Denizens are where people live in. See, a person or an animal of that live in that particular area. So denizen in simpler words could be a dweller. So these tigers, they are actually dwellers of world of green. That means they are dwellers of forest. These tigers, they live in the forest. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So these tigers, they are not scared of anyone. They are not scared of the men. These men could also be a part of the painting, or otherwise the tigers aren't afraid of anything. The tigers are not afraid of anything, right? They pace in sleek chivalric certainty. So these tigers, they're moving in like a very beautiful and a very sleek movement, chivalric certainty. Why? Because they are they're moving with a sense of surety. They are moving with a sense of proud and obviously majesty. They are moving with a sense of valor. Like there is so much grace and elegance for that matter, and so much finesse in their walk, right? These tigers. Aunt Jennifer's fingers, fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. So that implies Aunt's fingers, she's sewing these tigers, right? It's the entire story of how she's sewing these tigers. So these tigers, when she's sewing, she's even finding it very difficult to even pick up that ivory needle. Now, this is actually, when we'll discuss literary devices, then we'll surely discuss about this. But this is a short hyperbole, an exaggeration, wherein it is being said that she's so tired and so exhausted with her daily work, with her labor, and with her, you know, the household chores. Because of that, she's finding it hard, very difficult to even use that needle. She's not even able to move with that needle. So it's like she's so tired, basically, very tired, very weak. The massive weight of uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. So the wedding band is actually a symbol of relationship, and it implies, since she's not happy in that relationship, the band is a symbol of burden, right? Because the band comes along with a lot of responsibilities. This band that she's wearing, it is a sense of responsibility that she has to adhere to, follow करनी है responsibility. And when we wear a ring for a very long period of time, because of tanning, वो ring अपना थोड़ा सा उस ring का shape, size, skin color में difference आ जाता है. तो उसको वैसे समझो that even though when you're not wearing the ring, that mark on your finger will give you a clear cut memory of that, how that ring was. Similarly, herein the ring is a symbol of how her relationship is with the husband, how especially her married life is. So it is all about all the responsibilities and burdens of a married life. Burdens of a married life. Because she isn't happy. That is why it is appearing to be burdensome for her. That is why the ring is said to be having a massive weight. Right? Like you just cannot even, that ring is just sitting on the hand, and because of that ring, she cannot even use her fingers to properly sew. That is just to stitch. When aunt is dead, her terrified fingers will lie. So it is said that even after she is dead, she will still be under that responsibility. She will still be a wife. In death also, she will not be free. Right? In death as well, she won't be free from responsibilities. She won't be free from responsibility. She will still be a wife, she will still probably be a mother, and she will still have to just cater to the responsibilities that she has. Still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. So all the rules, all the expectations that people had from her, even after death, she will be expected to fulfill all those things. But the tigers that she has made, those tigers will just go on prancing. Those tigers in the panel that she had made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. These tigers wouldn't be scared of anything. These tigers would just be as proud as possible. So it implies that art is something that is permanent, right? But human is something which is not permanent. And just not permanent, but it also means that art is something which is definitely an escape. Through art you can just picture yourself in a fantasy world and you can all be happy, but that's very different from real life. It might differ from the real life. एक बार फिर से रीड कर लेते हैं. बहुत सिंपल पोइट्री है, कुछ कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं. वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट पेट्रियार्की, we are especially talking about women in domestic space. We are talking about burdens and responsibilities of a married woman, and how a married woman is always tired, exhausted, and she is very weak. Why? Because because afraid of her husband, not liberated in the relation, simple point is she isn't free to do things as per her will, right? Whatever she wishes to do, she cannot do that, and that is why it is something which is difficult, right? It is something which is very very important. That is why this sadness is coming from that. Clear? एक बार इसको रीड कर लेते हैं, then we'll move ahead. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree, they pace in sleek chivalric certainty. Aunt Jennifer's fingers, fluttering through her wool, find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie, still ringed with ordeals she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. That would be your entire poetry. It's a very small poetry talking about very common topics, very similar topics. These topics are nothing alien. These topics have been there for ages, and we have read about these topics. बहुत बार हमने इन topics के ऊपर बात करी है, and you must have heard these topics in some or the other form. It's just a repetition, right? Okay, I hope you have understood the explanation. It's just one humble request. Please make sure you read the poetry. See, the point is the more you are going to read it, the number of times you're going to read it, it will be much better for your own understanding. And you will be able to tackle the questions in a much better way, provided you have had a thorough reading of it. Reading does your job. Reading से आप 70% explanation ख़त्म कर लेते हो. ठीक है? That would be all for today's video. Make sure that you like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Feel free to comment in the comment section and tell me what should we do more, and is there something that I have missed, or is there something that you want me to explain again. But don't forget, stay tuned tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'll be uploading the CBSE question bank particularly from this poetry, and I'll also be discussing the poetic devices from this. Till then, bye bye. Thank you so much for joining.